You know that feeling when a huge tech service just goes down? We've all been there. But while we're staring at a frozen screen, there's this whole other drama unfolding behind the scenes. It's an absolute race against time, and not just to fix the code, but to manage the pure chaos of it all. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain on the unseen art of internal incident communication. This is the stuff, the critical protocol that can literally make or break a crisis.
Seriously, think about it. We've all had that moment, right? Your favorite app is dead, a tool you need for work is just gone. For us, on the outside, it's annoying, but inside that company, it is a full-blown, all-hands-on-deck emergency. So, what's the very first thing that actually happens? Let's paint a picture.
Imagine it. It's the dead of night, totally silent, and then, bam, an alert goes off that shatters everything. And it's not just one little server blinking red. We're talking about a symphony of failure lighting up across continents. On-call engineers are jolted awake. The system is hemorrhaging, and every single second is precious. This is exactly where our story kicks off. All right, so let's get into it. For our story, we're going to call this incident the Cascade Sync Failure. I mean, the name alone kind of tells you what's up. Some small sync process went haywire and cascaded into this massive multi-cloud outage. This is the absolute nightmare scenario, when your backup's backup fails and everything goes down together. So, in the middle of all this technical scrambling, the most critical first move isn't rebooting a server or rolling back some code. Nope, it's communication. Before you can even dream of a fix, the rest of the company, from the support teams to the CEO, needs to know what is going on. The very first weapon you use in this fight is just a well-crafted sentence. And that brings us to a really crucial point. That very first message has three main jobs. It's got to be fast, so you can stop rumors dead in their tracks. It has to be crystal clear, so there's no confusion. And it must project control, showing everyone that, yes, we see the problem, and yes, it's being handled. Okay, let's really break this down. Look at the timing. T plus 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes after that first alert, this goes out. It's a Sev 1, that's severity 1, the highest possible priority. It gives the incident a name, tells everyone exactly what the user impact is, and then, and this is so important, it sets a clear deadline for the next update. Notice what's not here. No guesses, no apologies, no we think it might be, just the cold, hard facts and a timeline. That's it. And this right here is the formula, the perfect recipe. These 4 things are totally non-negotiable for that first alert. Acknowledge it, state the impact, say who's on it, and give a timeline. If you nail this, you've just built a foundation of trust that will get you through the rest of the outage.
Okay, on to the next phase. Look, a major outage isn't a quick sprint, it's a marathon. A long, painful, grueling marathon. That first alert you sent buys you some breathing room, but now comes the hard part. Managing the long wait. And this is all about psychology, about maintaining a steady, predictable rhythm of communication.
Just look at this timeline. See that cadence? There's an update at the 30-minute mark, then another one an hour in. It's like a heartbeat. It's predictable. And that rhythm is incredibly powerful psychologically. It's telling the entire organization, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. We're still on this. We are still in control. You know, this might just be the single most important message of the entire crisis. The no news update. Why? Because you are honoring the timeline you promised. It's about integrity. It says we're still hard at work, even if we haven't had a breakthrough yet. It respects everyone's need to know, and crucially, it stops them from bugging you for updates. And that is the entire strategy right there. You know, they say nature abhors a vacuum. Well, so does a company in the middle of a crisis. If you don't fill that silence with calm, factual updates, you know what's going to fill it? Fear. Rumors, wild speculation. That steady rhythm you've created is your shield against all that chaos. Okay, the fire's out, the service is back up, everyone breathes a sigh of relief. But the work is not over, not by a long shot. In fact, you could argue the most important part is just getting started. Now you have to ask, how do we make sure this never, ever happens again? And that's when you start the postmortem protocol. Now, the most important word on this slide, the one that changes everything, is blameless. See, a postmortem isn't a witch hunt. It's not about finding who to fire. It is a collaborative, almost scientific investigation. The goal is never, ever to find a person to blame. The goal is to find the weaknesses in the system so you can fix them. You have to have this culture. You absolutely have to if you want any real learning to happen. And here's what that looks like in practice. The analysis moves so cleanly from what happened to how it impacted the business and then straight to concrete actionable fixes.
A sync process needs rate limiting. Done. Some cross-cloud stuff created a single point of failure. Let's decouple it. See? It's not about blaming a specific engineer. It's about making the whole system tougher, more resilient.
So, we've just walked through a pretty gnarly tech failure. But what's the big lesson here for all of us, whether we write code or not? Let's zoom out for a second and boil this whole thing down to its essential principles. And here they are, 3 golden rules, simple but so powerful. Number 1, communicate early and then keep that rhythm going. Number 2, be clear, not comprehensive. Give people the essential facts. Don't drown them in technical jargon. And number 3, after it's all over, learn from what happened without pointing fingers. This is the playbook. It's that simple. And that right there is the ultimate point. This was never really about servers or APIs. It's about trust. It's about transparency and accountability. What we've been talking about is a playbook for leadership, for guiding any team through any crisis, whether it's a botched product launch or a huge shift in the market. It all comes down to how you act when the pressure is on. So I'm just going to leave you with this one thought. They say a crisis doesn't build character, it reveals it. It's this unfiltered, high-pressure test of your team's culture, your processes, your everything. It shows you who you really are. So the question isn't if a crisis is going to hit you, it's when. Is your team ready for what it's going to reveal?